Hello, welcome to this video lesson. My name is Kari Laitinen and today we are going to study a program called Findreplace.java. So you can find this program if you first go to the site naturalprogramming.com, and if you then click this icon you will then enter this page, and by scrolling a little bit you should find the place called reading and writing textual information from two text files, and there is one program called Findreplace.java. So you can copy this program by control clicking or right clicking it. I have already copied the program and I have it here in the editor, and so the main subjects of this lesson will be then that how can we modify the contents of a text file, and how can we use the ArrayList class, and we are also going to study command line parameters. So these are our things to study today. So let's first run the program. So I have already downloaded it, and I have gone to the folder where the program is located, and in this folder I have these files, Findreplace.java and the Findreplace.class, and then I have a file called shortstory.txt. So I will show you now that how we can modify the content of the shortstory.txt. So let's first study this short story. So this is a very short story, or very short text file. It has only 2 lines. This is the beginning of the story and this is the end. So indeed it is quite short story. And so with this program we can modify the content so that we can search for certain strings in the program, and we can then make the program replace the string with another string. So let's run the program. Sorry. So I'll now run the program. It first asks the file name. Well, I will give it to it. So this is the file name, and then it asks the string to be replaced. So I would like to replace the string the. So this will be replaced, and then the replacement string, and so let's just put there XXX, for instance. So now it should run, and it says that the was replaced with the XXX on line 1, and it was also replaced on line 2. Now we can check how the replacement went. Oh, I can use this. So now you can see that the is replaced. Always when the is there, it is replaced with the XXX, and also the word the was occurred twice on this line, and it is replaced in 2 places. So we can see now that the program can replace. It works. And if we take a look at this command ls, we can see that it also created a file named shortstory.text.bak. So this BAK is a backup file. So it contains the original text. So if I show that, you can see that these are the original text lines and they are not modified. So this is how the program works. And there is also an easier way to run this program, so that it can be commanded on command line, and that means that I can give on this command line, I can give the file name and the string that needs to be replaced. So I can, for instance, I can command it like shortstory.text, and well, let's then replace the string xxx with zzz. So this is a shorter way to run the program, and it again says that it made the replacement, and we can check it, and it seems to work. So there is a shorter way to run this program. And of course, I can if I made another replacement operation, like I replace zzz with the, then I should get the original text back. Like this. And now the original text is back there, and this program has some features that, for instance, if I try to run it so that I give it the wrong file name, let's try to do that. So let's modify it so that I would. I will give it a totally wrong file name, and I can say that well, let's replace with the xxx. Let's see what happens. It says that cannot open file, and then it gives the file name. And also there is one more feature that if I try to, for instance, I run it so that I say shortstory.text, it's a correct file name, but if I try to replace the with the, so that both strings are the same, it says that cannot replace the with the, because that's not necessary, I think. So these are the possible things that you can do with this program, and let's then take a look at the source code. So this program has then, so there are methods. There's one method called store text lines to file, and then there is one method replace string in file, and then there is one method more, which is the main method. So let's take a look at the main method first. It fits almost entirely here. So this is the main method. And we have the usual things like the keyboard thing here, and then I have 3 strings defined, file name given by the user, string to replace, and replacement string. These variables, they don't have values at the beginning. But then there's also that I have defined the command line parameters here. Command line parameters, and they can get values. So it is an array of strings. So I can check that if the length is 3, if the length of the array of strings is 3, it means that the user gave the command line parameters, and I can use them. So I simply copy, because the rule was that I have to give them the parameters in this order. So that I give first the file name and then the string to replace and then the replacement string. So I just copy the values from this array to these 3 strings. So in the first position there is the file name, second position is the string to replace, and the last position is the replacement string. So this was the case when the user used the command line parameters. But if the user didn't give 3 command line parameters, then we must ask, or this program will ask the user to give those parameters. And then we simply display these texts, so that it first asks the file name, and then we read the file name and we store the file name to this variable or object reference. And we do the same with the string to replace and the replacement string. So we do here 3 operations to read a line from the keyboard. And after this, we have all data necessary to do the processing of the file. Either the user gave the data from the command line, or either the user gave the data when it was asked. So now begins the actual replacement operation, and there are 2 conditions here. Oh, I didn't show this, but if the string to replace, if it is an empty string, there is no need to try to replace that. Or if the string to replace equals the replacement string, it will now take no replacement operation. And in that case, it just says that cannot replace this with this. Actually, I think it's not possible to keep the empty string from the command line, I think. But then, if everything is okay and the strings are okay, then another method called replace string in file is called, and we give these 3 parameters as to the method. First is the file name, and then string to replace and the replacement string. And then the program execution goes here. So, and here, this is now the place where we do these file operations. And in order to do these file operations, we need to use these standard Java classes like buffered reader and file reader. So we are going to use these classes, and we must have this java.io package imported in order to use these classes that are needed in file handling. And because many kinds of problems can occur in file operations, we must do these operations inside these try-catch constructs. So we have to catch the errors that can occur, and for instance, and this try-catch construct works so that we do all the things inside the try block, and then if something goes wrong, then the program execution jumps to the catch block if there is a suitable catch block available. And for instance, if the file is not found, then this statement will be executed. It says that cannot open file and original file name. And if some other error occurs, it just says that error in reading, and then it gives the file name. And we saw here that when we gave here the wrong file name, the program produced this line. And it was really made by this statement. So this is the error handling mechanism, and but if everything goes well, then we can modify the text file. So first we create here, this program works so that first it creates a file reader object so that the original file name is given as a parameter to the constructor of the file reader class. And when this object is created, so here we create an object, and then this object is immediately passed as a parameter to the constructor of buffered reader. And this buffered reader is then an object that we are going to use to actually read the file. And this buffered reader, it has a method called readLine, with which we can read one single line from the file. And we also use this class ArrayList here. So this ArrayList is a dynamic array that can grow automatically when we add new objects to it. And now we specify, with this we specify that we are going to put string objects into the array list. So we have one array list that will contain the original text lines, and we have another array list that will contain the modified text lines. And then we just start processing the file. So we have variables like line counter, and then we have a Boolean variable end of file encountered, which is false at the beginning. And then we go to a while loop, and we stay in the while loop as long as the value of this variable is false. So as long as end of file is not encountered. And we do these operations, this operation read line. So this method reads a line from the file or from the buffered reader object. So this readLine method works so that when it's called first time, it reads the first line. When it is called the second time, it reads the second line, and the third time it reads the third line, and so on. And it returns a string object. It returns a string object that will contain the line that was read from the file. And in the end, when the end of file is found where there are no more lines available in the file, this read line returns a null, which means that no object is referenced. So it returns a null, and then we can decide that, well, now the end of file is encountered. And we set this variable to true, and this makes the while loop stop. But this is then, so this is here then the block of statements where we process the line, a line that was read from the file. So we increment the line counter, which was 0 at the beginning, and then we add this text line from file, we add it to this array list-based array, original text lines. We add it there, and then we check with method contains. So this contains is a method of class string. We checked with this method, we check that if this line that we read from the file, if it contains the string that needs to be replaced. And if it contains that, then we do some replacement operation. And we call, there is a ready-to-use method for that called replace. So we simply call, for this string object, we call the replace method like this, and we give two parameters, string to replace and replacement string. And this automatically then replaces all the occurrences of this string to replace. You already saw when we run the program that it can replace multiple occurrences of a string. And then we just print that string to replace was replaced with replacement string, and we print also the line number there. So you saw that the program prints these lines when it finds a line in which a replacement must be made. And then we use, because now we also, when the replacement is made, you can see that we use the same string object here, so that this will replace the original line. So we use the same string object here. So, and we again store it to an array list array, but now we store it to an array that contains the modified text lines. And this add method always adds these string objects to the end of the array. So in that way the lines are in the original order in both arrays. Well, so this is the end of this marks the end of the while loop, and the while loop stops when the end of file has been found. So then we just need to close the file. We close the original file, and here we create a new string backup file name, and we use the original file name, and we just add this extension .bak to this file name. And then we call another method, store text lines to file. We call it twice. So we store these text lines to the backup file, and we store these text lines to the original file. And it happens so that when in this operation, the original file on the disk will be destroyed, but the backup file will then contain the same text lines that were originally in the original file. So this is how we modify the lines, and then we have this one more method here that stores the lines to the file. So it is here, and it takes a parameter of type ArrayList string, and the other parameter is of type string. And again, so this method will now write to a text file, and again we have to use this try and catch keywords to make the try catch construct, and inside the try block we write the lines, and we now use two classes, standard classes, file writer and print writer. And this file writer, first we create the file writer object so that we give the file name as a parameter, and then immediately we use this file writer object to create the print writer object, and the print writer object is then the object that we are going to use in this operation. And then we have a simple for loop, so that we it's a traditional for loop, and we have a line index that has an original value 0, and the last value is the file array size -1. So this size method returns the number of objects in an ArrayList based array, and then we will go to a value with the index goes to the value that is 1 less than the size. And then we simply use this print. We use this println method, which means that after that automatically we add a new line character to the end of each line. So with the get method we use the line index to read one string object from the ArrayList based array, and then we give that string object to this println method, and we write to the output file. And when this has been done, we just close the file. And then this catch block catches possible problems that are related to writing a file, well, there can be a hardware problem or some other kind of problem that would prevent the writing to a text file. So this is, I think, quite I think this is enough explanation of this program, and I think to this method store text lines to file, that this is quite general purpose method, so you could use this for instance in some of the exercises that I have available. And it can also, with this program, you have to be careful when you run this program, so that it's possible to, with this kind of program, it's possible to destroy useful programs. For instance, we could well, I don't know if it is good to show this, but maybe we could just destroy this Findreplace.java program, because this is also a text file. So let's do it. For instance, if we would if I run this program so that I would give the parameter and I could replace the, let's replace some keyword there, or I will replace the keyword string with or let's make the keyword array list with XXX ZZZ, for instance. Let's see what happens. So the file was modified on 4 places. Let's open them. So you can see this array list has gone on these places. So if I try to run or try to compile, so if I try to compile the program, it doesn't compile anymore. So you have to be careful with this program that you don't destroy any useful files. So, but of course I can still make this back, I think. This should make it okay again. Let's try to compile it. Now it really compiles. So we can here we can see that this is quite reliable program, so that we can destroy a Java file and we can make it work again. So this was the lesson for today. We saw how to modify a text file. We saw how to use an array list based array, and we use also how to use command line parameters. So thank you for your attention, and we'll meet in some other videos.